All right, let's keep it T-Mobile here. All right, now I did a video on this, and I want to kind of be a little bit more inclusive of all the elements we know now. So, Red Zone, NextWave, these are two wireless service providers complaining of interference from T-Mobile 5G. And this is off the news of Blue Surf just last week, earlier this week, disclosing that they were having trouble and interference from T-Mobile's 2.5 gigahertz 5G UC. Yeah, man. And you guys can see the location here. Oh, man, the interference. I don't like the sound of this. All right. Two additional companies, Red Zone Wireless in Maine, NextWave in New York, claim that T-Mobile's 5G network and its 2.5 gigahertz spectrum is interfering with their operations. They joined Blue Surf, which operates in Maryland, in raising interference complaints against T-Mobile. Quote, "We have customers that are suffering great harm," Red Zone founder and CEO Jim McKenna told Light Reading. Quote, "We have customers that have left us because of this." Uh-oh, that's not good. So they're basically saying the customers were having such problems with the connections, they changed service providers, discontinued their service with the brand. McKenna said he had been in discussions with T-Mobile's management about the issue for more than a year. Quote, "Please know that I am open to discuss any manner of solutions with you and your senior team that would turn this matter into the most positive and successful outcome for all parties." McKenna wrote to T-Mobile CEO Mike Sievert more than a year ago. But McKenna said T-Mobile has ignored his complaints. Not good. T-Mobile look bad. If McKenna and his team over at, what is the brand? What's the company name? Red Zone in Maine. If they're reaching out to you and making a legitimate effort to try to find a remedy or a solution to the problem, and you don't respond, and now there's stories about it, sweaty armpits, Eugene, you look bad. Because if there is something you could do to address this and fix the issue, you should. I know a lot of people are going to sit there and blame the FCC, and that's fine. They're the ones that regulate the airwaves. But they're reaching out to you, and they're making efforts to try to fix the problem. And they need you to fix the problem. Why aren't you holding up your end of the bargain and being involved? Quote, "It's all part of a pattern of very disturbing behavior by T-Mobile," according to McKenna. T-Mobile officials declined to discuss the matter with Light Reading. Why? Why don't they want to talk about it with Light Reading? Why don't they want to engage in discussions with McKenna? NextWave hopes for relief. Red Zone isn't alone. Fixed wireless operator Blue Surf renewed its claims that T-Mobile's 5G service is interfering with its network. Blue Surf is now calling on the FCC to step in and do something. Yeah, I don't like the sound of this. NextWave has been suffering severe interference, quote, severe, from T-Mobile that has crippled large parts of its New York network, according to an official familiar with NextWave operations who asked not to be named. The official said NextWave is seeing the same type of interference in some of the other cities where it is building its 2.5 gigahertz private wireless network. In private wireless networks, it's usually business applications. So those are probably very profitable customers. I'd be pissed. After a slight delay, NextWave announced in February that it would expand its private wireless networks into markets including LA, San Francisco, Vegas, Philly, and Dallas. According to the NextWave official, the company is hoping for an FCC enforcement action against T-Mobile soon. McKenna said Red Zone knew it would need to work with T-Mobile shortly after T-Mobile purchased 2.5 gigahertz spectrum in Maine, Spectrum Auction 108. Quote, "I even sent them a note of congratulations," McKenna said. McKenna and the company Red Zone have been operating fixed wireless access services in the 2.5 gigahertz spectrum across Maine for more than a decade. T-Mobile looks terrible in this, guys. Shortly after T-Mobile received FCC authorization to turn on its 2.5 gigahertz holdings in Maine earlier this year, it launched its 5G network in the state without any warning, according to McKenna. He said Redzone immediately noticed an uptick in customers' tech support calls as they suffered dropped connections due to interference. Quote, it was a Friday in March. Since then, McKenna said he has contacted T-Mobile on 4 separate occasions to try to get the company to work with Redzone on a possible solution. He said, I think there's a pathway to coordination. He said, I'll fly to Seattle tomorrow and sit down with them anywhere they want to meet. Wow. So McKenna looks like a nice guy, sounds like a nice guy. He's trying to get a fix that works for both companies. It looks and sounds like from his side, T-Mobile's not coming to the table. They're not responding. That's why they're reaching out to the FCC. The other company, what was the name of the company? It was Redzone and NextWave. It sounds like their efforts are not being acknowledged by T-Mobile.